Freedom of choice. It sounds like the ultimate win, doesn't it? The more options, the more freedom, and the more freedom, the happier we'll be. After all, isn't the ability to choose what makes life so exciting? We're constantly bombarded with choices: where to live, what to wear, what career to pursue, which streaming service to sign up for, and then ignore, and even which flavor of ice cream best represents our personality. It's the ultimate expression of freedom. Except, is it? Welcome to The Disenchanted, where we question everything, especially the status quo. This channel is all about honest engagement. We encourage critical thinking. We will not be conformed to social constructs, societal narratives, and toxic positivity. There are no rose-colored glasses here. Please do share your thoughts and opinions below. And like and subscribe. The mic is hot. Let's be honest. Having too many choices is less like freedom and more like a never-ending existential grocery store aisle. Every decision, big or small, comes with a side of anxiety, self-doubt, and a lingering suspicion that no matter what you choose, you're probably going to regret it. The paradox is this: the more options we have, the harder it becomes to actually make a choice. Instead of liberation, we end up with paralysis. Starts to feel like a cruel joke. Think about it. Remember the last time you scrolled through a streaming platform trying to pick something to watch? You spent 20 minutes browsing, reading synopses, watching trailers, and thinking, this one could be good, but what if there's something better? Eventually, you either settle on something you're only half interested in, or just give up entirely and rewatch that show you've already seen 5 times. In the end, you had hundreds of options, and yet somehow, none of them felt right. The real kicker is that the more choices we have, the less satisfied we are with the choices we make. It's called choice overload, but it feels more like choice regret. You finally pick a restaurant for dinner, but halfway through your meal, you can't help but wonder, would I have been happier at the sushi place? You buy a new phone, and within weeks, you're eyeing the next model, convinced you made the wrong decision. We're perpetually haunted by the road not taken, by all the other lives we could be living if we had just made a slightly different choice. Freedom, it seems, comes with a whole lot of second guessing. And it doesn't stop at the little stuff either. The pressure to choose wisely escalates when it comes to the big, life-defining decisions. Society hands us a buffet of options and tells us we can be anything we want, do anything we want, live anywhere we want. Great, but also terrifying. Do I stay in this job that's stable but a little boring, or do I pursue my passion, which, by the way, I'm not even sure what that is anymore? Do I settle down, or stay footloose and fancy-free? Do I move to the city, the suburbs, or quit everything and become a nomadic goat farmer? The options are endless, and that's kind of the problem. The more choices we have, the more we feel like there's some perfect option out there. If only we could find it. It's like life is one giant game of would you rather. Except no one gave us the rules, and every choice feels like it carries life-altering consequences. The fear of making the wrong decision becomes so overwhelming that we sometimes just don't choose at all. We stay stuck, hovering between options, hoping that clarity will strike like a bolt of lightning, but it rarely does. Here's the paradox in all its absurd glory. We crave freedom, but the sheer volume of choices leaves us feeling anything but free. It's the ultimate irony. Freedom of choice makes us feel less liberated and more trapped in a web of endless possibilities. The more paths we can take, the more uncertain and restless we become. The dream of total freedom turns out to be more of a burden than a gift. Of course, the problem isn't freedom itself, since that we can have it all. We want all the options, all the experiences, all the lives. But as much as we hate to admit it, every choice we make is a trade-off. Choosing one thing means not choosing another, and we have to live with that. It's impossible to live all possible lives at once, and maybe that's the real joke. The freedom we long for is a freedom we can never fully have. We can only pick one thing at a time, and then make peace with whatever we didn't choose. So, what's the solution? Maybe it's time to lighten up and accept that choice overload is just part of the human condition in modern life. Embrace the fact that no matter what you choose, be it a career path, a partner, or even just which pizza toppings to order, there's always going to be some degree of uncertainty. Sure, you'll wonder about the other options. You'll overthink it. You'll probably regret at least one decision today. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. After all, life isn't about finding the perfect choice. It's about making the best choice you can with what you've got, laughing at the absurdity of it all, and realizing that freedom is less about having infinite options and more about learning to be content with the ones you pick. Until we meet again, question everything you've been told and embrace the disenchanted truth.